This is a very quick Ascension energy update for current times, especially now that we are entering into November and December. So, my beautiful friends, I'm just walking by the river here, and I felt compelled to talk to you about what is going on in the collective and most likely with a lot of you individually. This is where I am walking. I will show you what I'm looking at here. I hope you can see something. Okay, so I think we can't deny that in the last few weeks, the energies, especially around Halloween, have been extremely dense. We know that when the veil lifts around Halloween, portals are opened and the spirit world has more access to us from above and from below. And especially from below is where the portals get wider, they get visible, where negative beings, especially from the astral realms, right, from the negative fourth dimension, from lower dimensions and densities, can get through and can affect us. I don't know if you felt it, but the energies around Halloween were very, very negative. And I had a very hard time upholding my vibration. And what happens around Halloween, especially in a state of such spells, fear, agendas, people who are actually living out their lowest vibrational selves, you know what I mean? In those times when human beings are in a pretty negative state anyways, when things are not going well for them, when the veil gets thinner, they are more susceptible to negative beings and negative energies infiltrating them. So the lower you vibrate, the more susceptible you are for these negative energies. And to be very clear, even though it's not a nice subject, demonic entities and energies, other negative souls can influence low vibrational people more. So if after these 2 years, right now, in some countries where there are still agendas happening, other countries that are affected by war, by new lockdowns, by very strange politics, by mandates, even those countries that are more free now, they are being affected by all this, especially when you're watching a lot of negative media. That means you're already in a state, in a very vulnerable, susceptible state. People have fear for not having enough to eat, having a roof over their head, running out of electricity, like here in Germany. The politics are going crazy because there is no gas from Russia, from the Ukraine for Germany. So people are saying, okay, we're going to freeze this winter because a lot of the power here that we have in our houses in heat comes from gas, natural gas, right? So those gas lines have been cut and blocked. So what do we do now, right? I mean, that's a different theme, but that's just an example of how normal people can be brought to more fear. And what happens then? What happens then, my friends? And what has been happening in the past few weeks is that these negative entities start to occupy. They start to occupy and attach to and even possess those people who are already low and in fear, right? That's what happens. And so they start to affect them negatively. And people like you and me, light workers, high vibrational beings of light, we are a target. And these negative beings are working through the humans of low vibrations to attack us. And I know a lot of you have been attacked psychically, through speech, even physically, by family members, by friends, by very mean and spiteful negative people in the family, or even people who turned negative, who are turning against you, who are flaring up. And it's not them. It's not them. This is what I realized. I also was being attacked again. A second wave of attacks right now through these Halloween times by very, very negative family members. And I was all around me. I was seeing people flaring up in fights, in drama, in such negativity. There's so much negativity. And I realized that it's not them. Obviously, when people act this way, they have already let themselves go into very lower states of consciousness. They have already let themselves act in a negative way. They have chosen fear. They have chosen all those horrible behaviors. And when they are in that vibration, then they become a perfect match for negative beings, entities, demons, souls to influence them even more. And then it flares up. And these negative demons, souls and entities want to get to you because you don't give in. You don't act so negatively. You are not like a greater part of humanity who just makes, I would say, triggered choices all the time, who doesn't act so positively, right? So basically those negatives are trying to get to you through those friends and family members. And that's why you are attacked. That's why you may feel, even if it's not a physical, verbal attack against you, you may feel that suddenly your emotions are spiraling down, that you feel depression, that you feel anguish, angst, that your heart is sore, that you're very sad. All those things may be happening. And it is those negative beings being launched at you through your family members if they can't access you directly. And that's the trick that they do. Especially if you've kept yourself in a very high, beautiful vibration, if you stopped yourself from giving into the agendas, giving into that spiral of negative thoughts and fears. And I mean, we're all susceptible to that, but you've been working against that, let's say. You have managed to stay sane. And then suddenly what happens? These entities, they can't get to you anymore. The negative agendas, they can't get to you. So they work through your family members because the family members still have access to you. You still talk to them. They can send you a text. It's like if those little demons can't send you that text anymore via thoughts in your mind or attachments because you're vibrating too high, they're like, oh, but look, there's this cousin. This cousin has such a low vibration. Let's activate the cousin to send you a nasty text. Because the cousin can physically send you a text. Do you understand? So those things have been happening to a great extent, on a greater scale and on a smaller scale. The negative forces are flaring up. And you know, I don't like talking a lot about these negative forces. And I saw that a lot of people left my channel after I made the video about the Queen. I wonder why. I had to talk about that, my friends. I had to talk about it, but always reminding you that you are more powerful, right? So, talking about these negative energies, these negative worlds within our world is necessary for you to understand what's happening. So if you have been feeling bad in any way, attacked physically through family members or just in your mind or in your heart, it's not you going crazy. It is really and truly the portals that have been opened, the veil that has thinned for negatives to come and find a way to drag you down. So if you're aware of that, that empowers you, and that enables you to say, you know what? No, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to breathe through it. I'm going to ask my angels and guides to protect me, to cast away all these negative things, to give me peace, love, and harmony in my heart. And then I will conquer this. And that's how you do it, my friends, you know? The best protection is a high vibration. The best protection is staying in your heart, is feeling the vibration of love, feeling your heart emitting so much light that they can't see you, that they're blinded by you, that they have to fall off. You know, if you consistently get yourself into a vibration of love, peace, joy, and enlightenment, then the negative tendrils fall away. The negative beings can't attach to you anymore. They have to fall away. They have to leave. And then if you speak out loud that you're a sovereign being with free will and choice, and nothing can stay because you're telling it to go, because this is you. This is your soul. This is your body. This is your incarnation, and no one has the right to influence you if you don't want it to. No one has the right to possess you, to attach to you, to run any programs, to send you negative thoughts, to do anything to you, even physically. No one has the right. If you speak this out and you tell them to go and you ask your guides and your angels to help you, so it shall be. Because the light is more powerful than the dark. And you're a sovereign divine being of light. And you are very powerful. And the law of free will and choice shall not be breached if you don't let it be breached. And we have to remember this in these times. I feel November and December, you know, it can be good, but there's some heavy artillery being released on Earth. There is still heavy artillery there. And it's different depending where you are. Some places it's harder. Remember my theory, what I saw of this Earth not being one dimension, having different dimensions. The third, the fifth, the negative fourth, the astral realms, everything is kind of merging and shifting depending where you go, who you are, and what you do and what you think. We're not just standing in the 3D, it's a mix of dimensions right now, right? Remember, there's negative beings trying to go down, there's us, positive beings of light, trying to go up, and everything in between. So if you have been feeling all of this in the last few weeks or the last month, just understand what it is. Understand that it's not you going crazy. Understand that it's a lot of very negative beings and influences working against you. And now, this fall, this winter, more than ever, you are being called to stand in your sovereignty, to stand in your power, to emit as much light as you can, to be discerning, to stay in a vibration of peace. You gotta have this evenness. You gotta have the peace. You have to be strong. You can't let yourself go. Don't let yourself go little tantrums and spirals of negativity. And no, that's why it's important to be very present, to do your meditation practice. Only if you start to meditate. If you haven't been doing that, and it's like, I like doing walking meditation here, right? You see here, on the bridge by the river, there's cars there. For example, this evening I was feeling not so good, so I decided to go for a walk, clear my mind, call in my guides, breathe it all out, and regain my sovereignty. And this is actually a practice. You're being called to do this practice this winter, a practice of going to a place where you feel good, that is neutral. Outside is the best. And regaining your sovereignty, reminding yourself, I am sovereign, calling in your guides, clearing yourself, raising your vibration. You need to do this as a practice because it doesn't happen automatically. If you're already there, that you're in the Christ consciousness flow all the time, amen, amen, but I'm not. And I constantly have to do the practice of keeping my vibration very, very high, of consciously choosing positive thoughts and positive emotions. Because if I didn't do that, it would be very, very bad. I'm not saying just like, do the spiritual bypassing, everything is good. I don't mean that. I mean consciously observing what's going on with you, breathing through it, allowing the negative emotions, whatever it is, to go through you, but then saying, okay, that's done. I acknowledge it. I am standing in 3D and 5D and 4D a little bit at the same time. I am body and spirit combined, merged. I'm standing in the different dimensions. I have a part of me that's fifth dimensional. I have a part of me that's third dimensional. That is a little lower. That is the ego. And that is fine. And I'm feeling all of this. But what do I choose? Where do I want to stand? What do I want to feel? Where do I want to vibrate? What do I want to let in and not. You have to be discerning, and you have to do this practice every single day. I do this, or else I probably would be, I don't know, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you, all right? So that's the message for the ascension energies, that the lower beings are pulling, they're pulling, they're pulling. They've come through, they have gone into your third dimensional family and friends who let them, and they are wreaking havoc a little bit. But you don't have to be affected. And if you cry for the world all the time, you're not helping it either. You have to stand strong and positive. That's what we're here for. We're here to hold a vibration of love, joy, peace, and enlightenment, so that we can pull up the other parts of the collective, so we can be a good example to humanity, so we can raise the vibration collectively, and so we can share our light and shine our light on the darkness so others can benefit from that. If we are sad and depressed all the time about what's happening, and it's easy to get there because it's not nice what's happening. If we do that, then we can't help. I'm not saying don't be compassionate, but be strong and try to have a neutral place where you stand, and then you can call in those higher vibrations, all right? I hope that has helped you a little bit. I hope that resonates, and you know that I am here to serve you and support you further. So if you wish to be supported further by me through readings or courses that I offer, below this video where it says more, in the description box, you will find a link to the beautiful things that I want to offer to you. And right now I'm also conducting a little survey with ascending star seeds to see how I can serve better, specifically for the course that I'm holding right now about cosmic spirit communication. So if you feel like having a little chat with me, if you're interested in these things, the link is also below in the description box. So I hope to see you soon. All the best. Stay strong and shine your light, my friends. Shine your light. Love you all. Bye for now.